All right, okay. Welcome everyone to Introductory Performance Seminar. Today is February 27th, and we have two students with us today, Sritan and Arya. I've seen Arya so many times. Welcome back, Arya. Could you please have your camera on so we can see you? And Sritan is the first time here with me. Yes, so welcome. You guys already know that in the first part of the performance seminar, we're going to be going over your pieces that you've been practicing with your teachers. And then in the second part, we're going to see how we can improve it even more. Okay. And we're going to start with Arya. Arya, do you need a few minutes to get ready? Are you ready? You ready? All right, so please introduce yourself and music you're playing today.
My name is Arya and I'm going to be playing Etude.
You're playing two pieces, correct?
Oh yeah, Etude and The Winter.
Let me just get the second one. I got it from Dr. Justin.
It's fine. I memorized both.
Yeah, okay, good.
And then the second one.
All right, good job. Good job, Arya. Yeah, that sounded that you really learned it well and you counted your beats, all the notes were correct, articulation, staccatos and legatos. And the tempo, I like the tempo. It says brisky in your etude. Very well done. All right, moving on to Sritan. Sritan, please let us know what are you playing today?
I'll be playing Prelude Number 3 in C minor by John Sebastian Bach.
Okay, let me just open. It's 2 pages, correct?
Yeah, both.
Very nicely played. Very nice performance. Good job, Sritan. And this piece is not the easy one, right? But it's beautiful, definitely. The box is one of my favorite. Arya, what do you think about this Ritan's performance?
It was really, really good.
What did you like this piece?
Yeah.
W- I saw you were kind of like thinking about something while you were listening. I'm just curious, what you were thinking about while you were listening to this
Um,
music?
I thought it was like really nice.
Good, good. Yeah. So what's so nice about it?
I like how it sounds. Like I like how it's fast.
At a fast pace, yeah, definitely, and it has a 16 notes. Yeah, definitely. So you guys, you completely on the different pieces, right? We're gonna be probably going over different things, but I'm sure, Aria, you can learn because this is something that you're gonna be doing in future, okay? So don't be intimidated by the music that Sritans play because um, all these foundational things that you're going through right now in learning will help you to get where this return is, okay? So you'll get there. You'll get there. You're on the right track. All right, so we're gonna go back to Aria first, okay? Let me just take a look at your second piece. So your second piece, let me just share this screen here. We can take a look at your second screen. Okay, do you guys see it?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So that was the second piece, the winter, right? So both pieces that you played, Aria, being played in a nice tempo, nice cheerful tempo, like very happy music. So you really expressed that very well. However, this piece, it has a different articulation, right? A lots of what you see on the top of the lines.
Legato.
Legato, yes. And why do you think we have legato and how does it helps us in expressing music?
It tells us to connect the notes or to
Connect
set.
the notes, yeah. Yeah, and you don't have any staccatos comparing to the second piece. Let me go back to your second piece. Oh. So this is, sorry, the first piece, right? So here you have a combination of staccatos and legato because this articulation brings different kind of like feeling of the notes, right? The different expression of the notes. For example, can you play just the first line, legatos and then staccatos? All right, very good. And now going back to this, the winter, could you play just the first line so we can hear the difference? Yeah, so you can hear, right, that this kind of articulation and the difference brings different kind of feeling of the music, feel, because we play music to have people feel something, right? And for ourselves, we're playing so we can feel something, right? We're not just playing a bunch of notes in rhythm. And Sritan, we're gonna tie it to your piece. Just stay with us, stay with the thought, even though it's a much easier piece for you. But we're talking about phrasing right now. And what's exactly legato help us to do is separate the musical phrases, right? What do you know about musical phrases?
Are you asking me or Arya?
Oh, you can participate both. Like if you have something to say, just feel free to share. Sritan, do you want to share?
Yeah, sure. So, I think a musical phrase is like when it's one continuous like hand position or melody, and then you go on to the next phrase, which is like a different form of notes.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And I like that because it's continuous, right? I like that you use this choice of word because legato helps us continue the sound, right? So right here in the winter, where do you think the phrase is gonna end? Aria, where do you think it's obvious, right? Where the phrase
Yeah.
starts. from the first note, but where is it going to end?
It's gonna end at the end of the first line.
Right here?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that could be. But then we have kind of like sub phrases, right? Because look, the end of the slur falls on this note. Yeah. And then we have the beginning. And also if you read the words, right? Sometimes when we play music that has a lyrics or words, it's easier follow to the musical phrasing. So for example, the snow is on the ground, right? This is one sentence. And joy is all around. That's the kind of second, right? So we could tie it up in one big phrase, but because we have a rest, so it's kind of like we need to separate them together, right? So, and based on that phrasing, we're gonna use an applied dynamic too. So for example, instead of playing the same way, first musical phrase and second, for example, you could do something like this. Can you hear my piano, by the way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sort of.
So you kind of like could experiment with the different dynamics.
I
Were
couldn't
you?
hear it that time.
Oh, you couldn't hear me. I think I forgot to switch my sound. Okay, here we go. All right, I'm gonna try again. So for example, you don't have to exactly copy me. It's just my interpretation. It's just a suggestion. So this is something for you to think about and experiment. Yeah, so you see how second phrase, because it's kind of like play the same thing, you could bring it down and play a little bit differently. Do you want to try, Aria, to see how it's going to sound to you?
Sure.
Yeah, and sounds more interesting, right? When we bring in different dynamics to the music and different interpretation. Yeah, thank you so much, Aria. You did great to applying those suggested dynamics. So this is something that you could talk about with Dr. Justin during the class and see if you can want to apply it. Okay, just a suggestion. All right, very good. Let's move on to Bach. All right, we have a lot of ground to cover here, 2 pages. So first of all, you did a great job on maintaining the consistency in the pulse of 16. There was like a slightly, slightly something like was throwing you off. But in general, like overall, you did a great job. And this is the difficulties in playing Bach's music is being consistent. So let me guess, you probably played a lot of time with metronome, correct?
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
You see, metronome helps a lot to keep this consistency. So continue conversation about the phrases. It's very difficult to see where the phrases begins and ends, right, Sritan? What is your thoughts about like how would you build that phrasing? How would you build this here without any like sign of legatos or anything?
So what I would do is for the first two measures, it's in the C minor hand position. So that would be my first phrase, C minor position. Then the next two, it's the next chord, and then the next two, it's next, and then so on.
Oh, that's a great way to look at it. Yeah, I like that idea. So you're looking when we don't have any clues, right? We're looking at the harmonic signs, right? So this one is C minor, so you're playing. And when the harmony changes, that could be. Yeah, so you can make the difference in the crescendo and diminuendo here based on the harmonic, like hearing of the harmonies, changes of the harmonical chords here. So this one is, by the way, what kind of chord are you playing in the left hand in the right hand?
The right hand is second inversion, and what chord?
Yeah, you're right, it's second
It,
inversion.
yeah, it's in F sharp minor, I think.
No, just
Oh
the
wait, no,
regular,
F.
because we don't have sharps, right? We
Oh
we
yeah.
have three flats
Oh
in
yeah.
this key
So
signature. So this is F minor, right? F minor.
yeah.
And then we looks like the harmonies changes again, right? Right here.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
like
it
use
goes.
I like use different colors so that way it's kind of like visual because I'm a visual learner. I don't know how about you guys. Arya, stay with us. Don't disappear. I know it's a hard stuff for you, but this is something you're gonna be learning. So, by the way, what kind of like are you visuals? Like, how do you get the information? By hearing it, by seeing it, by doing it? What's
Um,
yes, Arya?
yeah, I just like when I see it, maybe to read the notes, just
Yeah, so you
it's
need to see it, yeah.
complicated for me.
Yeah, most of the actually the creative people like artists and musicians, they're very visual. Even though you think the musicians they need to hear it, but many of visual. So that's what we get, right? So this is now we have some kind of like structure, right? Because everything looks the same. If you just look at this music, everything's kind of look the same. Intimidating, right? A lot of notes. But once you start identifying those harmonical changes, I think I made a mistake right here. Oh no, no, it's a different chord.
Yeah.
Yeah, in what kind of chord is it?
It's a B diminished.
Yeah, and this is actually a favorite strategy, Bach's strategy when he was composing music, because to bring this kind of like, question into the music or maybe some tension, right? Some tension. And most of the time, where is the tension in the music, that's where you bring a little bit more dynamic, right? So we could build the phrasing this way, like starting maybe softer. We don't have any dynamical interpretation here. You just kind of like, it's a blank canvas. You could just create something out of nowhere. So this is what probably I would do if I would play it. But again, it's my suggestion. It's you have to find your way of what sounds good to you, and also listening performers who's like with the big names, like a great performers, pianist who playing this already. So will give you a clue how would you structure your phrasing here. So because it's kind of like gets us to here to the question, right? So I would probably get a little bit more of the louder dynamic, I don't know, mezzo forte or forte. And then when it brings us back home, right?
Back to the C.
Yeah, so this is kind of like long, gives us long phrase to deal with and play. Oh, not here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so how would you place Ritan now as we kind of like see visually the structure? How would you move the harmony and music toward that?
I mean, what I tried to bring out was at the start of the long phrase, I played it back at piano,
Yeah,
and
do you want
then
to try? Do you want to try see how it's gonna sound? And there is not no right or wrong. We're just experimenting here.
okay.
No, no, from the beginning. Are you starting from
Oh,
the beginning?
okay. And should I go
Yes,
on?
very good. Yeah, let me. Yeah, I heard that you were like leading us, right, Arya? So did you hear that with Sritan with his playing was like leading us somewhere, right? So the music was taking us to some place. So that was beautiful. And that's what we want to accomplish, right? When we play music. So I was thinking like if you'll do like a gradual crescendo, how is it gonna sound? So, I made the phrase longer, but
Mm-hmm.
there is another way. So what do you think about this way? So I did it like crescendo, diminuendo, like an echo, like saying, it's like saying something, like conversation,
Mm-hmm.
like one person saying something and hearing echoing somewhere,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
what do you like, the first way or the second way?
Um, I think the second way sounds better actually, but the only thing is for the second page, we wouldn't be able to do the same thing because it doesn't
Yeah,
repeat.
yeah, yeah. So you kind of like need to look at the structure of the whole piece and see where it's gonna take you. So what is was the most difficult part for you that you would like to work on or look at?
I think in the second page, the left hand at like the very start, it's making some pretty big jumps, and I don't think I'm very accurate with it, and that kind of threw off my rhythm. And then for the rest of the piece, it didn't really play as well.
Do you want to double check on your left hand notes?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and then from that point on, it gets easier.
Yeah, yeah, everything was correct. You got
Mm-hmm.
it, you got it. So another suggestion that I have, you see we have a lot of repetitious notes,
Mm-hmm.
right, throughout the right hand. And when that happens, usually you want to be a little bit lighter. So you don't want this sounds like annoying, when you da 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 da, right? Constantly repetition. So all the notes that is going to be repeated, especially if you're playing them with the thumb, just keep them a little bit lighter, okay? So when you're
Mm-hmm.
playing this da 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 da, because you don't want it sounds like this. So you see this if the thumb is overpowering, so we don't want to get all this attention to this repetitious note because we have such a beautiful da 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 and left hand bom 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 bom. Yeah, I would play like left hand separately and just listen to it because it has such a beautiful those jumps. They're I don't know what it could be. What do you think when you play in those jumps? What do you think about?
I mean, when I play the jumps, the thing is, I'm mostly thinking about my
About
right.
notes, right? Getting on the right notes. Yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what's your strategy? Like, how do you find it? How do you find those jumps?
So when I play, my thumb is usually a lot more accurate than my pinky is. So I try to bring in my thumb as well, and that kind of helps.
Yeah, another thing that could help you is not to overhold this bottom note. So
Mhm.
as soon as you played it, you see you have this is your chance to move your left hand. So start moving it as soon as you play it, start moving it toward the next note, right? So you kind of visually see it first. Where is it located on your keyboard, right? On your keys. Because
Mhm.
right hand is pretty much in one position, right? It's not jumping. So you need to focus more on the left hand and kind of like see this coming, anticipate those jumps before. But first, like if you hold a D, right? And then, oh, you already have to play the next one. But as soon as you play it, and I don't know what Dr. Justin said about you using pedal. Did you talk about using pedal for this or no?
Oh, I don't.
No, not yet.
Oh,
I don't have a pedal.
you don't have a pedal?
Mm.
Yeah, you could buy you can have your parents buy it. It's very inexpensive because eventually you will be able to play with the pedal, and it's more fun because now you're not just playing with both hands, you're also playing with your foot. Okay, all right. So does it make sense? What would be the practice strategy for those jumps?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but you're doing great. You're already on the right track. I would just like make it like really sound like musically more expressive, you know, because you
Mhm.
got the notes, you got the technique, you got the rhythm, you got the steady pulse. Now it's like more fun part. Like, what do you want to say with your music? How do you want to people feel when you play in this music? Okay, and the box music could take you to the different like time, different like sometimes when I listen box music, it's like I forget about everything. It has this
Yeah.
power. Yeah, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
So I'm so happy that you are playing the box music because it's a timeless. People will play Bach forever.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. Great job. Thank you so much for coming today, playing your beautiful music, sharing your beautiful music, being open to try on new things and participating. It's been fun to have you here. I'll see you next time.
All
Bye.
right.
Bye.
Bye.